You are listening to Nicholas Acosta with Downtown Expert Realty in Orlando, Florida, host of the podcast Home to All, an all-inclusive real estate podcast. Nick sits down with guests to talk about how real estate works. You can check out his podcast at www.downtown.expert or 407-508-8809. Facebook and Instagram at downtown.expert. Enjoy the episode.
Good morning, everybody. This is Nicholas Acosta. I'm coming to you live from Florida.
I would get out of the car.
Okay. So this is Nicholas Acosta, the Home to All, an all-inclusive real estate podcast, coming to you live from Florida with Blanchard Insurance. I've got Jamie Hoover as my guest today. Jamie, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
No problem. So just wanted to say good morning to you, and how are things going over there at Blanchard Insurance and yourself as well?
They're going good. We're keeping up with the paces in 2020 and watching this hell of a year come to an end. It's definitely been a ride for everybody. And, you know, in the insurance world, we are learning something new every day. So it's great.
No, that's awesome. And I apologize, everybody watching and listening today for the glitch. There was just a temporary technical issue. Thank you guys for your patience. So yeah, I'm out here, like I said, in Kissimmee. And we were talking in pre-show, everybody, Jamie and I have this listing in Kissimmee, 4985 Bond Street West. It's about like 80 some days on the market, but you guys can see behind me, that's where I'm at. As you can see, no matter what, myself or Jamie with Blanchard Insurance has to do with our busy lives and our busy days, we're always here for you no matter what, to bring you this, this information on a weekly basis. So,
yeah, the first time I actually met with you, Nick, was in my car as well. So I was doing a podcast in the car, and you got to do what you got to do. You're on the run. We're here to work. So.
Oh no, it's awesome though. It's great with technology today, like that, especially when we had this COVID-19 pandemic. We can still come to you no matter what from wherever in the world. So Jamie, I'm just going to ask you, so what's been going on at Blanchard Insurance? Kind of update the audience on any progress or changes that have happened since the last time we were on.
Yeah, we've definitely hit it hard with our rollout for health insurance. So we're getting a lot of health insurance calls. We initially did that just to service, our own book of business, our own clients. We were asked about it a lot. And we have hit the ground running with that, and the mortgage protection life insurance as well. So where we specialize, I won't even say specialize, just mainly, started with the P&C here at the agency years ago. This was a life insurance agency. So
okay.
We're taking, about 20 years ago, when the founder, Mark Blanchard, had it, it was a life insurance agency. So we're bringing that kind of back to fruition here. In the past years, we've concentrated on the home and auto, and now we're adding a lot of additional lines of business to service the clients. So we've been working on branding. We've in the past shows we showed you we rebranded our website and some of our marketing materials, and it's a fresh look, and we're really excited to add some new products for our clients. So.
No, that's awesome. You guys do with the rebranding and all that stuff. I love the logo that you guys are using. It's amazing. And what else has been, so besides things with the insurance company itself, like what internal stuff have you done in terms of maybe staffing or things like that to bring more customer service to the customer out there, especially during the pandemic?
Yes, we definitely have. We've added some client services through this whole this year. So we have some additional licensed client services representatives. We have a couple new sales agents that we've been introducing on the show here and there. We had Haley and Antonio on the West Coast. We introduced Andrew Ray here in the Altamont office, and we're excited to introduce you to another agent next week on the show, Marcus Tarantino. So that's going to be really exciting. We just posted a video on our Facebook page that Marcus made for his realtor connections and clients, saying to give them a call and the things that you look for in an agent. So we're just excited to partner with all the community and the real estate agents with the new brand.
And as you were talking about Marcus, I'm actually pulling up you guys' Facebook page with him on it. There you guys go. See?
Yeah, no, that was great. He did that himself, and he's talking about the 3 things you should look for in an agent, with experience and checking the insurance agent's reviews. And we've worked really hard on our Google reviews and Facebook reviews, and we have a great process in place for that. And it's exciting to share testimonials about that. And then also the grind that he's putting into building his business along with all of our agents. So, it's just a short little clip that he's sharing from his balcony on his apartment in downtown Orlando. I think he lives pretty close to you, Nick.
Okay. I was going to say, I recognize the background there. Where he's at.
Yeah, that's not a green screen. That's his backyard. So,
oh my God,
but
cool.
he's excited. He is a graduate from UCF, or graduating this December. He's been with us interning, for a couple of years. Started in client services to sales assistant, and now moving into the sales agent role. And he's excited to go out there and brand himself and tell everybody what he's about and what he's doing to get business. So we're going to introduce him next week. And yeah, he's right in your own backyard. So I think he'll help you with some of your policies as well.
No, that's cool, because when he's is he going to be in the office with you guys next week? I'm sure he's there now. Obviously, you're working, but
yeah, he's here now. I just didn't prepare him for this.
Oh no, that's fine. No, I didn't know if he was going to be. Like when me, sometimes I'll put the real background like he has behind me in the show. When I'm in the condo with the skyline behind us.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. No, we can definitely do that. We can work that out. So I think it's great. We've really taken on some of the generational, stuff here. When me and Mike started rebranding the agency a few years ago, one of our goals was to help the younger generation get into the business. And typically it was, your older insurance agents, State Farm guys sitting behind a desk, and they weren't relating to the new generation of insurance. And we've been very fortunate to have, guys and gals come on that have really embraced insurance, and they relate to a lot of people. So it's been a great, fresh uptake. We have senior experienced agents, down to the college graduates. So they're all learning off of each other. So it's fun.
No, that's totally awesome. I can't wait till next week when I get to introduce officially over the podcast to Marcus, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
And it's funny how what I was going to say is that you're talking about the different generation of the insurance in the past, where I think I've told Mike this before. My late great uncle Nick, who I was named after, he actually was an Allstate independent agent. But back in those days, he used to work from like a Sears store. Where he worked.
Oh.
That was a long time ago. And just imagine how now Sears doesn't really exist anymore except for a few. And then it's all good.
Yeah, there's a lot of different structures of insurance, and I think it appeals to anything building a residual, income and relationships with people for years to come, and kind of being their go-to has been an appealing, source for the next generation. So, I used to sit on I used to be in a committee for like a young agents council for an insurance group. And that was our goal, was to educate the next generation of insurance. And we would go to the high schools, to Boone and Lake Brantley, Dr. Phillips, and we would bring insurance into their business programs. And this is how you calculate auto insurance. This is the old fashioned way, pen and paper, actuarial, this is why your mom won't let you drive that red Corvette. This is what it's going to cost,
Right.
So we would bring insurance into their business and finance programs just to try to spark interest.
Right.
Because we need agents are retiring. Agencies are, going through legacy and passing the businesses down to the next generation. So that's the stuff that you can do with insurance. So it's exciting. But we have had a couple things come up in the office here this week that I wanted to talk about. So
Sure.
So I guess we'll just kind of say, with the market being very hard in Florida for insurance and all the changes we've talked about in past shows and guideline changes, we follow the insurance company's financials very closely as well. So I wanted to mention on the show today that when you're looking for an insurance agency, whether you're the realtor looking for a trusted partnership or the client, you really want to make sure that that you realize what the insurance agent is doing for you. And part of that is keeping up with the insurance company information. So we had some clients this week kind of question some insurance carriers from Googling reviews.
Okay.
So you and I both know that anytime somebody's unhappy, especially if it's going to be an insurance claim or they didn't get the money they wanted or whatever, it's going to be negative reviews. So
Right.
kind of overcoming that negative review mentality, looking for the good stuff in there, they have to remember that they have recruited and hired us as their agent to look through that information and to assure them that the insurance company is financially sound and is going to take care of them. So we've had a lot of back and forth with clients this week, just from them simply Googling different companies. We represent over 30 companies, and we're directing them to the companies that are strong financially and can take care of them. But Googling and checking reviews and finding all of those negative reviews can be really disheartening for a client, just like with anything else. So that's one thing we've had to take a lot of time this week, educating them on Allstate, State Farm, USAA, and then all the different 30 carriers that we have as well. So as a partner for everybody, that's just something on the back end we're always working on.
Yeah, no, that's awesome that you guys do that. I was just thinking of ideas like when we're talking about reviews out there. Obviously, reviews affect businesses like yours, insurance. It's the same thing when it comes to like restaurants or maybe retail, or especially restaurants that are local. You could have somebody that wasn't happy with the food or the service, and it may have only been one server that they had a bad experience with, but that one server can do your brand damage because that consumer has written a really bad review. So.
Right. And it's really hard, to navigate, negative reviews on some business, websites. And our responses mainly are personal experience over the 25 years of dealing with the different companies and claim service. And we're really relying on our personal experiences. So for, clients will Google, they'll find this information, and a lot of them have positive, of course, reviews, but then there are those few that never seem to be able to make anybody happy. And we're very cautious of writing with those companies. We have a good relationship on the back end in order to make, calls and priority calls and to get help on the back end if needed. So that's just one thing, one of the many things an insurance agency can do for somebody. And the same with the real estate agent. You don't want to refer to somebody that's not going to take care of your client.
Agreed.
So I think a lot of the hesitation sometimes for real estate agents to refer to insurance agents is that trust factor of trying to, keep everything going on an even keel and having a positive experience. So we've put a lot of stoppers in place and a lot of processes to make sure that experience, is good. And our Google reviews have really grown. We have the most in this area now, in the Longwood Altamont area. And we're really working hard on that because we've seen the pushback about the reviews, positive or negative.
No, I completely agree with you. Yeah, in our business, either insurance or real estate or financial aspect, it's a little harder. We have to work harder to correct the negative reviews versus like a restaurant, which can say, hey, I'll give you, I don't know, I'll comp your meal next time, or I'll give you a gift card for next time, or something like that, right? With us in the financial industry, financial sector, obviously we're going to always do a great job, but if somebody has a negative view of us, negative feedback, time and trust, they have to rebuild their trust. Even if we personally did not impact them, but if something in their process impacted them, then that's the reason we have to work harder to fix those reviews.
Right. And that is, like I said, I think that is one of the holdbacks sometimes to the real estate agents with the referral partner with the insurance agent. But if everybody is working together, and which is the point of it,
Right.
and in a hard market, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. We had a big luncheon with a Volusia County brokerage yesterday with about 40 real estate agents. Not one of them helped their clients with insurance. But then when I asked, okay, who's had an insurance problem the day prior to closing, half of them raised their hands. So this is where obviously, things need to flow a little easier, with that relationship with the real estate agent and the insurance agent. So it's a trust factor. You have to earn respect.
I do agree.
From all of us do. You do with the client, we do with the client, we do with the referral partner. And it's a process sometimes, but we're pretty we have a pretty tight process here. I've come through in the last few years, and we've tightened it up, and we hope that shows on the other end. And according to the Google reviews, it does. But like I said, we're still fighting some of the reviews for the other companies, the insurance companies, not the agencies. And that's just where we see the need to service within that process.
No, I completely agree with you on that, because I know for a fact, from being in the insurance industry for it was like 20 years with Progressive, Mike and I had a conversation about that. And the thing with that is that obviously you have your direct insurance through like just for instance, Progressive. I worked for 20 years for them, and then you had Progressive, but it was like on the agent level for getting quotes there or getting a policy through them. And for a long time, and Progressive did an amazing job of this. For a long time, Progressive had to go away to separate the two. So they knew that when somebody had a complaint about Progressive, are you having an issue with the agent, or are you having an issue with Progressive Direct? And then that way they could address getting that customer trust and loyalty back, whether it be on a local level with an agent or national level with a corporation or the company.
Right. And there's so many different sides to that. And I think that that's kind of the educational part we take on sometimes. And, our client, this past week, I've never heard of the insurance company that you're trying to, that you're saying is the best option for us. Well, it's Universal Property and Casualty. It's a national insurance company, but it's not the name of Allstate, State Farm, Nationwide, USAA, Progressive, like those main brands that you would recognize, because those are captive brands that those agents can only write with them. So, we write with the carrier that we know that we have a relationship with in case something does happen and we need to help. We have relationships with all the company reps that come in and the claims departments. And same with remediation companies on the other end. Like right now, I'm helping a lady, with mold remediation, removing an air handler and replacing drywall because she's alone, she's elderly, and she needs help. And the same thing that a lot of, reputable real estate agents would do to help somebody list a house or take care of something. So a lot of the things are very, are the same across the board for the real estate agent, insurance agent, and what we put into something. So actually Wendy and myself, Wendy here at the office and client services and myself, we actually went to this client's house, met the restoration company, you know, and helped her because she didn't want to be taken advantage of. So, you know, not trying to toot our own horns or anything. I know a lot of, you know, companies would do that, but those are things that come up on a weekly basis that, you know, have to be taken care of. So it's a little bit more than just selling insurance.
No, I would have to agree. And you're a personal friend of mine on Facebook as well, and Mike and I think and also Allie. We were just talking about this, everybody, before we went on the show. Was Jamie had pointed out to me, because she watches, like, we like each other's posts, we share each other's posts. We have a good relationship with you guys. And so basically what I'm saying is that started about to raise the property continues being in the market. And I was just telling to her that we got started on time with the podcast today, but because I'm the type of person, like, just like they are over at Blanchard Insurance, I'm the type of brokerage for real estate that's going to make sure I'm here for my seller. And yes, ultimately I have to make a commission because it's a business, but it's not ultimately about the commission. It's about going above and beyond to be their guidance to help you through this process, especially if you haven't done it in a long time or never did it in their life. And whether they've done it a million times, I know, like myself, and I know that Jamie and them over at Blanchard Insurance, they say what I would do. No matter if the first time you get an insurance policy, or your second time, or you've done it frequently, we're going to be there to help you guide you through this, no matter how many times you've done it or how many times you've never done it before. Right?
Right. And that's, you know, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, this week too, I had a younger couple, young parents, first time home buyers, bought a flipped home where everything was replaced. Well, everything but the outside electrical panel, which was still fuses. That, you know, ultimately looking back, before closing, with insurance representation, should have been replaced and negotiated for them in the contract or whatever they could do, because it's $1,000 fix.
Right.
Well, they're young parents, they're first time home buyers, and they can't afford $1,000 fix on electrical. So now we're dealing, you know, and then the insurance is canceling and you're dealing with that, and they can't afford an additional premium. And, you know, there's emotions and relationships, and, you know, just like with you guys, it's helping people. And we definitely can run circles around here in a day. Just like I was trying to call an AC company for that lady. Okay, it's been 2 hours. I'm still trying to find somebody to replace an air handler, or not replace, move it out so they can fix the mold and move it back in. Okay. Nobody wants a small job. Right. So now, you know, it's just part of the business.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. And then, you know, you get, and I love it, and I love doing this, and I'm not complaining when I say this to anybody, that I love actually working with buyers and sellers that turn to me and turn to people like you when it comes to insurance, then say, hey, Nick, or hey, Jamie, or hey, Mike, or Allie, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Hey, by the way, you know, I have a question for you. You know, I'm trying to figure out where to go to get maybe insurance, or where to get a contractor that's licensed and insured or whatever. Right. Can you give me advice? So what my rule is for a non-biased anybody out there, I provide at least a minimum of 3 companies for each type of service, whether it be insurance, a mover, a lender, things like that, pre-approval. And that is one, I want to give them option to shop around so that they feel that they're doing the right investigation on each of these companies. I even give them information to other people. Not that I'm saying that I want them to go to somebody else, but I'm like, listen, if you have a hard time working with me, we don't get along, I'm not going to force you to stick with me. You have other options out there. But also, I think that gives the consumer a lot more comfort. They mostly will probably still be loyal to you, whether it be insurance or real estate, because now the fact that you've given them options and told them that you're not going to, you know, tie them down to one choice only, that safety gives them a piece of mind and comfort.
Right. And I mean, with insurance too, and just everybody to keep in mind, the consumer, the real estate agent, across the board. Independent agents, have multiple options off the bat. So we've got those 30 different options. We've got, multiple in the email to the client. It's like, these are some options that we found for you. So they're automatically getting more than one. And you're right, though, people have to click, and it's been hard for me to find this, AC company in this particular area to just do this one small job. And I'm finding her 3 referrals is going to be really difficult, but
Oh no,
I'm just trying to help her with that, but I understand on your side.
no. I mean, even the 3, it's still tough to get 3 referrals that maybe you've had experience with. Even I'm not saying there's nothing, everybody has, there's different when it comes to when you can find somebody a lender. Every lender has different types of products,
Programs.
Right. Insurance companies have different programs, and depending on what kind of property you're buying,
of course,
if it's residential or if it's commercial, things like that. So you got that there, and then also movers too, because there are some movers, as I've experienced with my buyers and sellers out there. There are movers that if you're only going a certain distance, they're going to actually charge you a lot more. But then there's going to be other ones that you recommend to them that may not charge you more for a short distance. Because one company says, well, to make it worth their while, we're going to charge you double what we charge for a long distance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, and that is definitely a very, from what I've seen, I saw somebody post on Facebook yesterday. She had gotten some mover, quotes, and then she said, can somebody else kind of tell me what they've paid in the past to see if this is really high or right about right? Or, some of these services aren't mandated to stay in certain, price ranges.
I completely agree on that. That's why we have that. That's why, even though I say it's not bragging when I say I give them 3 choices for each service, that 3 choices, just like in your situation, it's like once you finally get somebody from one of these vendors on the phone and you talk to them, and then it's just about who you click with and the way you talk to them. I like, hey, look, I have this buyer, I have this seller, they need this done, like in your case with the air conditioning being moved out, moved back in because of the mold remediation or whatever. And that's the thing. It's like it does have to click with the right person. You go like, Nick or Jamie, no problem. We're here to help your client out, make life easier, and also at the same time, we're not going to gouge them on prices because it's a small job or something. So.
Yeah, no, and I mean, and that's definitely one thing with insurance too. On the price side, the premiums are the premiums. The rates from the insurance companies are what they are, right. And it's just a matter of manipulating coverage at that point. I mean, for somebody to go around town and call 5 insurance agencies, and they're never going to come up with the same premium from each one. They're never going to match it. Everybody has their own manipulation on the replacement cost of the property. So getting true apples to apples quotes, is difficult. I mean, it's really just a manipulation of numbers at that point. And like you said, who do you click with? Who do you want to work with? That's what I tell people all the time. Who do you want to work with? Who do you like working with? That's really what it comes down to. The rest of it can be, adjusted.
No, I agree. So, Jamie, before we go, what's the piece of advice for the week from you personally to anybody out there in this world that we're living in still today?
Oh, get out and get some exercise. I've been walking 3 or 4 times a week now with a friend, and it's definitely a stress reliever. We can complain about the week and feel so much better when we get home to our kids. And I have a couple kids homeschooling at home, and I'm trying to hide at my office. Get some exercise. Get your brain circulating a little bit, and stay healthy.
I was just seconding you on that. Lee and I yesterday, I probably saw maybe on Facebook on my post. We did 10.3 miles. We started this new thing. We take the Sunrail. We live downtown Orlando, so we take the Sunrail from the Link station, and we went to the Maitland stop, and we bought a one-way pass and got off at Maitland and walked back from Maitland over there near Lee Road and all that stuff. It was really good. We went this, from my point of view, in terms of being a real estate broker. This gave me in the field exposure to see what was on the market. and also look at potential properties that I'd like to reach out to see if they'd be willing to sell their house, to get a listing, because interest rates are going so well with lenders right now and the economy. So yes, I agree with you 100%. And Legal Wood, we're both all advocates. This is the best way to deal with the stress of the noise, so to speak, in the world outside today with political views and political, things like that. So I agree with you.
Yeah. Nick on Foot. That's your new show. Nick on Foot.
Oh, yeah. No, trust me. I'm in the process of the refi today was for capital startup to invest in my brokerage here at Downtown Expert Realty, because I want to be able to provide for my clients, whether my clients being my independent contractors, they're just as a customer, much as a customer, as a buyer or seller out there. That's the way everybody out there looks at it, needs to look at it. If you're not already, look at yourself and your business and say, I should be treating my coworkers and my fellow employees or employees as customers as well, because they're all trying to bring business to the company, whether it be real estate or insurance. So.
Correct. Yeah. You have to invest in yourself for sure. So that's great. Well, thank you for having me today.
No worries, Jamie. Thank you for being on, and thank you everybody for cooperating with a slight glitch in technology. It happens from time to time. I know there's a lot of people probably on the stream service because of what's going on today and working remote. Awesome news, everybody. Starting Monday, Hernan Cias from San Diego. He is the host of the podcast, Business Bros Podcast in San Diego. He's a real estate agent with eXp Realty out there. I'm going to have him on the show Monday. I'm going to have to slightly adjust the time because I have an appraisal to do for my Orlando listing on Monday morning at 10. With the appraiser. So that's the news I got before we started the show today, Jamie, as well. That's moving along. And Monday also starts 1 year of the Home to All podcast. There's going to be a lot of great new things coming, like a new logo, a new intro video, a new exit credit show. And so I'm so glad that Mike and Alex over there and everybody at Blanchard Insurance, that you guys are on board with me as a partnership here with this show and being one of my loyal sponsors. Thank you very much, because you're going to be part of that 1 year anniversary coming up next week. So
wonderful.
All right, guys. Well, Jamie, thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I'm live here from Kissimmee, Florida. This has been the Home to All podcast. You can reach me at 407-508-8809 or downtown.expert. And Blanchard Insurance, www.blanchardinsurance.com. Check them out on Facebook. Check out Marcus's video that's out there that we showed at the beginning of the show. Their number is 407-788-8800. And all right, Jamie, you guys have a good day over there, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
All right, guys, everybody, and have a good day. And live from Kissimmee. Peace out, everyone. Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening to Nicholas Acosta with Downtown Expert Realty in Orlando, Florida, and host of the podcast, Home to All, an all-inclusive real estate podcast. Check out his website, www.downtown.expert or 407-508-8809. Facebook and Instagram at downtown.expert. See you next time.